Hello everybody, welcome to Immediate Meteorology. In this video I will be talking about the spring and summer 2020 forecast for what I think will be happening for the rest of this season and summer. So if we go right in, this is my map for predictions. We'll go ahead and start with the biggest area, which is hot and dry for a lot of the west coast and just basically the west of the United States, like Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Colorado, Nevada, California, Oregon, and Washington State. So they're going to see a lot of hot weather, such as 80 degrees, 90 degrees, and some even reaching up to 100-something degrees. And they're going to have a lot of dry weather. I know that might not seem too surprising, but they're not going to get as much precipitation, especially for Washington State and Oregon. They get precipitation a lot. However, they are not looking to see that much this year, especially for the hotness of it. Now we look northeast of there you have droughts looking at Colorado, Utah, Nevada, Idaho, Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota, Wyoming, Nebraska, Kansas, and Oklahoma. They are looking to see a lot of droughts, especially for Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, because they're in tornado season right now, and because they're in the middle of Tornado Alley. However, they're not really looking to have that much severe weather for really the west areas of those states. However, it is still possible to have a little bit of precipitation, but really we're not going to see a whole lot of precipitation in these areas, and we're going to have long-lasting droughts. Just north of that, it's a way different. There's wintry mixes for Montana, Idaho, and North Dakota, which is, rain mixed with snow. So they're not really going to see full-on snow because it's going to be warmer. However, they can see some rain and snow more often than actual precipitation and storms. Let's look east of that to wet and cold. That's for Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Idaho, Iowa, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Missouri, Indiana, Illinois, and part of Ohio. They are going to see a lot of wet conditions coming from the wintry mixes area. After they have some of that, the rain will move on and go over there, and they will see some possible snow, but mainly just a lot of wet and cold precipitation. Let's look south of that at the severe storms region. That's for Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky. They're going to see most of the severe storms for this season, such as, the tornadoes, all the supercell development. And like I said earlier, all the really western areas of the usual Tornado Alley states will be getting the severe storms, like Oklahoma, Kansas, and Kansas. The western half will see most of the severe weather. We'll look south of that too, and you can see it's just stormy, not very severe, but we've already had our real big severe yearly storms, and then now really what we're going to see is just stormy weather, maybe not that severe, but still stormy, and that's stretching from North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Mississippi, Arkansas, Texas, and Louisiana. Now we'll look south of that once again, and you can see it's mainly for the southern half of Florida. They have their own region, which is expected to be very, very hot. They can see temperatures up in the 90s and sometimes even over 100 for places like Tampa, Miami, the Florida Keys, etc. If we look northeast of stormy, you can see cool and breezy. That's covering parts of North Carolina, Tennessee, and then Virginia, Kentucky, West Virginia, Ohio, New York, Delaware, Maryland, Washington, D.C. District, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Ohio. They're going to see a lot of cool weather. Not necessarily pretty cold, but cool as in 40s, 50s, and 60s. And then they're also going to see a lot of wind and breeze in those areas. So it's going to be a pretty nice summer and spring for them. However, some more southern areas can still have some warmer temperatures. Then we go and look up at the very northeast area of the United States. You can see there's Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, New York, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. You can see there they're looking at slightly warmer temperatures than usual in summer. So instead of like the 60s for them or 70s, they might see some 80s and even possibly some 90s in places like Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island. So here we're going to look at some models that support this forecast. Here we're looking at, this is until the end of May. You can see a lot of the warmer temperatures are near the west, and that very, very hot area in Florida, that supports the hot and dry and very hot. Here we're looking at the rest of spring and summer. You can also see the hot and dry area and the drought area, and you can also see the part of Florida and then the northeastern areas of the United States. Here we're looking at precipitation. You can see a lot of that is covering the southeast area, which is stormy, and then the areas that say severe storms. And then here, same thing, it's covering the cold and wet areas, the cool and breezy, stormy, and severe weather. Here we're looking at a drought monitor. Already there are droughts going on in places like Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and Montana and Wyoming. And then you can see those other droughts down in Florida and Texas. Now we're just going to briefly talk about the previous severe storms that had gone through for Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas, and South Carolina. So I've split it into two, the event and the amount of reports of the event. So first we have tornado. In all, it wasn't as bad as last week and storms, which is what we were predicting, and it, like I said, it looked out to not be that severe. So, only 8 tornado reports. However, last week, and there was over 25 reports, which is a crazy more ratio than 8. We're looking at our hail reports. You can see that's 56, still less than last week. And then damaging winds, 173, also less than. With that, I thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you like weather content like this, please hit the subscribe button and the bell to see notifications for more weather updates, just in case your area will have any updates. With that, I thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video and update. Bye.